So we all know probably at this point that everything that we surround ourselves with affects our energy in some way, shape, or form. So that being the food that we eat, the people we spend our time with, the job we work, the environment we're in, the physical environment we're in, the thoughts we think, the media we consume, the social media we consume, the movies. Specifically today, what's coming up for me is movies. And I was very traumatized as a child in many different ways, but one of the ways I was traumatized was I had to watch horror movies as a little girl. My grandmother showed them to me. My grandmother was a very troubled woman, and she must have been traumatized in a similar way. Actually, she did this to my mother as well. And yeah, me and my sister, we had to watch The Exorcist when we were like 5 years old. So that went on up until my teenage years, and my grandmother pretty much raised me. So I have a lot of programming around that. And it's really interesting because for me, my experience, and maybe this is true for other people that have experienced trauma as well as a child, it's like when you receive the trauma, you start to act in that way. You start to do that to yourself. So I would watch movies like that scared me, that made me feel unsafe, that made me feel gross. I would watch movies like that on my own up until about maybe 4 years ago when I really started to start healing. And it's so interesting because I know a lot of people do this as well. It's like there's this desire to feel afraid or angry or scared or whatever it is, but it's a desire to feel a negative emotion that ultimately doesn't make you feel well in a whole. It's almost like drinking alcohol, for example. So when you drink alcohol or do any drugs like that, you are under the impression that the drugs, the alcohol are going to make you feel better in the moment, and they do. However, in the long run, they don't make you feel better. They make the problem worse. They make you depressed. They make you hungover. It gives you less energy and stuff like that. But you keep going back to this one quick fix because puppies, hey girls, here's my doggies. Doggy walk. You keep going back to that quick fix because it feels good in the moment. You don't really even know how to get to the root issue, and you just keep doing it over and over and over again. And then one day, maybe you start healing one day, maybe you start realizing like, oh shit, like, oh, excuse me. Wait, look at this grass, so pretty. One day you realize, why am I doing that to myself? It makes me feel terrible. So I started to remember when I started to try to diagnose my dreams. When I first came to Mexico, I started to really focus on analyzing my dreams. Oh my gosh, it's wet here, but it's really pretty. So, like, figuring out why I was having all these nightmares. Basically, I stopped using the drugs and I was having nightmares nonstop for 4 years it lasted. So I started to try to figure out what these nightmares were coming from. And then I remembered my childhood trauma of being traumatized as a child by my grandmother. There was also some sexual abuse in there as well, which I'm not going to go into in this video. But yeah, I've been through a lot. And I started to remember, oh my gosh, I remember Grandma would show us these videos when I was a child. Actually, my sister was so traumatized by The Exorcist that she eventually became an evangelist. So she's a born-again Christian, and I definitely feel that was trauma that maybe pushed her to do that. But what I want to talk about really today, not just my experience, but media in general, media and the movies, it makes me, I'm very sensitive to it because I'm still healing from what happened to me. And my mom was like this as well, and my mom wouldn't be able to hear like violence in movies and scary movies, even if you had it around her, or she would get very upset. And I'm experiencing this as well. never watch movies anymore, and when I do, I get very triggered when I see anything that involves violence or gore or just abuse or torture, which honestly is in like all the movies today, even like children's movies and Disney movies. There's so much portrayal of like demons and entities and murder and death and all that stuff. And actually, it's so interesting because when you watch Disney movies are like the more accurate portrayal of what of the other realms of reality, in my opinion. Like the spirits and angels and demons and mermaids and fairies and magic, and all of that's real, and children understand that because their consciousness is so new. They haven't been conditioned by being an adult yet. So as we grow up as an adult, we start to lose our connection to reality, which we think is actually the opposite. But that's more in alignment with reality than our reality. And I know all of us are guilty of this, feeling, oh, I want to watch a movie that is whatever, makes you feel weird. I mean, I did it for years, and now I'm just like, why did I do that, But I liked it. I thought it was whatever the reason was, but I was hurting myself. I was harming myself. So, somebody in my house was watching a movie. He watches stuff and I can hear it downstairs, and I hear like fighting and banging and bombs, and I just asked him, like, please, can you wear headphones? Like, it really triggers me. I'm trying to work through this, but I don't want to hear that in my home because I'm still processing that from what happened as my childhood. And it also just kind of like angers me because I know that he's not so aware really of what he's putting into his energy. I wasn't either. And pretty much every day I'm remembering like this movie or this scene or something when I watched it when I was young. And that becomes a part of you, that darkness, that fear, that anger, that energy becomes a part of you. And I think a lot of us maybe watch that stuff because it helps us to process something that we have blocked. I hope my dogs didn't disappear. Pramita, Sirena. I feel like, yeah, we watch it because it helps us to kind of feel those emotions that we're not able to process. But what it's doing is also giving you more of it and making you want it more. So it is an addiction in a way. And yeah, I just feel that movies in general, be careful with what you watch, and be conscious of what you watch, and especially what you show your children, and surround your energy with. So everything that we're watching, we're literally consuming it. We're making it a part of us. It's becoming a part of our reality, our mind, our ability to manifest and create. And it's brainwashing. And my mother was brainwashed by my grandmother watching these movies, and then she continued to brainwash herself by watching them herself. And that's what I started to do. And then eventually I started to heal, and I learned to stop. But it's brainwashing. And if you think about manifestation, all right, oh my God, I thought my phone was going to turn off. If you think about manifestation, where did my girls go? I hope they didn't leave me. Puppy girls! There you are. All right, it's like sometimes they run off because I'm not paying attention to them. You think about manifestation, it's all in your mind's eye. It's from your pineal gland. It's from your imagination. That's like the other thing. It's like, oh, imagination isn't real. But it is real. That's our connection to the psychic realm. That's our connection to the realm where we can manifest and create everything. So the biggest lie, some of the lies that we're taught and told, are to stop us from being able to grow. So imagination is not fake. It is not real. It is how we access the astral realm. This is so weird. This water is like all green. It's like, I don't know if that's like algae or something, but there's a cenote over here. Oh my God, it's all green. It's so weird. Let me show you. It's like cenote. It's so weird that it's green, and I'm getting bit up by bugs. But that's our ability to connect to our ability to create, to manifest, to envision. If you've ever done any manifestation pretty much all of it involves envisioning, using your mind's eye, using your imagination. So when you're consuming movies that are what you see in your mind's eye, a movie is exactly as you imagine it. If you close your eyes and you imagine a scene with the jungle and me standing here, it's the same thing as a movie. It's exactly the same thing. So you can alter your imagination, your ability to create in your mind's eye through watching movies. And you can put these energies into a person's being by having them watch them. So these energies being, you can call them spirits, entities, angels, whatever it is. It's an energy that you're allowing, agreeing to have a part of your experience. You're saying, yes, you can become a part of me. Now we are one. And this is why we remember it. And we remember it because it became a part of us at one point. So you carry it around for the rest of your life until you do an intentional clearing. So it will get in the way of your manifestations. It will get in the way of your ability to create in your mind's eye and in your belief system. So that's my rant for today. I'm doing a lot of ancestral work, inner child work, and that just kind of came up for me today. So I've been doing some healing on that. Also reading a really great book if anyone's interested in doing ancestral healing called Family Constellations. Family Constellations is a way to heal your ancestral trauma through your family circle, through your lineage. So they have these sessions here in Tulum. I think you can do it online too, but there's so many books about it as well. It's really helpful to read some books about it, to learn about trauma that was passed down from your mother or your grandmother, your grandfather, or secrets that were hidden and things like that. It's really, really enlightening. So the book is called It Didn't Start With You. So I've been reading that book today and doing my deep work. So I hope this message was helpful for you guys. Sending you some beautiful healing energy from the Mayan jungle here in Tulum. We just got some rain. Here's my doggie. Where did she go? Where did you go, puppy girl? Be in a trouble. Having a dog she is not the easiest dog, but she's quite a wonderful dog to have. She's always teaching me new things. I rescued her here in Tulum. She's 1.5 years old, and she's so fun and unique and strong, but also a little bit sassy. Like every few months or two, she'll snap at me. And I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong? And I'm learning a new phase of okay, I guess this is what it's like to be a parent. You know, it's you got a flow, doing good with the dog life. And then all of a sudden it's rah! So yeah, she snapped at me the other day and we got some more work to do with her training, but she's doing good. Yesterday I taught her how to bark. So, and she's so smart, literally she learned it in one try. I was so I just say bark and then she goes, woof! So anyway, more doggy tales later. Thanks for tuning in. Be intentional with your consuming of your precious energy with what you envision with your eyes, what you watch with your eyes, what media you consume, what social media you consume, what news you watch. I don't watch the news. I've never been a news watcher. I probably should watch more, but I don't. I just rely on other people to tell me. But everything is something you're consuming. So especially social media, Instagram. Don't consume people that make you feel bad. Don't consume people that you look up to that you can't ever be like. So for women or men, if there's somebody that you admire, that you look up to and you want to learn from, view them, watch them if you can actually get that. If it's somebody that's looks different than me, who's black hair and tall and big boobs, somebody I'd never be, somebody I would never ever be, there's no point of me watching them and admiring them and being wow, they're really cool and unique, blah, 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 because that's not going to help me love myself or grow within myself. So watch people that only make you feel good, and you don't have to follow all of your friends on social media if they don't give you any good energy, I mean, if it keeps you wrapped up in gossip, which I know a lot of my family members do this. I feel like they just sit on Facebook and gossip, gossip, gossip. But just watch stuff that makes you feel good. And that's all I got for you all today. Hope you have a beautiful day. Sending you all so much love. Like my video. If you enjoyed it, please share it. Please subscribe. Posting videos every day. So got a lot of information coming your way. As always, feel free to comment if there's any topics that resonated with you, if you want to share anything, if you want me to go deeper on a topic. If you are interested in working with me, I have a variety of different offerings. If you're ever in Tulum, I give water therapy in the oceans and the lagoons here. It's such a beautiful opportunity to connect with the natural bodies of water here, to heal emotions, anxiety, stress, grief, sadness, sexual trauma. Really great way to connect to meditation very deeply and very easily. It's very, very powerful. It's similar to working with plant medicine, except you're working with water and without anything that will physically alter your experience. However, the water does take you to another dimension. And in terms of online sessions, I have a manifestation offering that I'm currently available. I have some spots for we would work together for a month. It's an EFT and manifestation hypnosis mentorship, so that would last 1 month, and we work through your limiting beliefs, what's stopping you from manifesting and creating what you want in your life. Then I would create a personalized hypnosis meditation. That's kind of a long one. That would be tailored towards clearing all your blockages, receiving what you want to receive. And then you're going to listen to that every single day for a month. And you and I are still going to have access to talk to each other because new things are going to come up. So you can, be aware of what comes up when you start doing your work and reprogramming your mind. So we work with the subconscious here. We work, when you do hypnosis, you work directly with the subconscious, and it's pretty much the only way to manifest and to reprogram yourself to receive what you want. Working with the conscious mind is much longer, and you would have to do it so many more times. So it's kind of pointless. And then I offer a mentorship that's 3 months long. So you would have me for 3 months. We have 1 session every week. You can fill out an application on my website under the Life That I Love mentorship. So it has a whole bunch of questions, and then we'll have a call. We can talk about what your intentions are, what your goals are. And then from there, we figure out the perfect plan for you to, again, work through your limiting beliefs, work through your traumas. We have somatic healing in there as well. It's like the perfect mix of feminine energy and masculine energy. So working to balance those two and healing yourself, connecting to freedom, love, peace, while also getting organized and following a plan to get everything done. So I work with the 12-week year plan. So if you're into productivity, that's a really amazing book. It's super, super detailed when it comes to creating a plan for your life. So we work with that to kind of balance the masculine, to keep you in alignment, in accountability for creating what you want. And then we can do, depending on your needs, we can do some Ayurvedic nutrition in there. We can have some breath work. We can do some yoga if you have some things that you want to work through with your physical healing. So, and as always, you can schedule a clarity call. If you have a specific thing that comes up from one of my videos that you want to talk about, we can talk there. So have a beautiful day. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next time.